democracia y libertad de prensa. La mordaza es cosa escasa y todos dicen lo que piensan. Y esa sutil es impresa y repetida diariamente. Tiene contenta tu mente con yo soy combate y fiesta. Presta el control, Tarantino no es tan gore como los crímenes de amor que a toda hora se nos muestran. Pues tal vez la estrategia impuesta. Pánico en el público y manejarás el cuesta pal. Político en vez de patrullas se vende camilla para un hospital. Como si esa mierda de combo no diera seguridad. No será casualidad que el otro dueño del canal sea el cerro sobrino pero bueno de cumplir hermano pariente papá. Que esa nostalgia no es noticia, su codicia se evidencia. Propicia violencia y plástico, panémicas belleza. Fútbol, patriotismo falso, culo, vasos de cerveza. Pele cáncer pa' tu mesa y el domingo en misa pesa. Sobre su cabeza pesa el atraso mental del pueblo. Oposición vendió trasero, dictador, grupo Romero. Pero se confundieron acá, la palabra es cruda. Autoeducación en camino se afloja la lucha a través de cultura. Es como genera de uno, tal vez otro loco se suma. Ya saben, cortina de humo que explota la mina que mata la cuna. Primo, vengo que trate la friuna, no una pura canción que aventura. Así no censura, emite basura, no le conviene que sepa verdura. Hay extorsiones, violaciones, robo, llanto y más. Con tanto muerto el morbo están alimentando, ves no hay paz. Solo un odio contenido en milis para que vivan en la fantasía algún día cambiará. Hay extorsiones, robo, violaciones, llanto y más. Con tanto muerto el morbo están alimentando, ves no hay paz. Solo un odio contenido en milis para que vivan en la fantasía algún día cambiará.
Sensacionalismo, amigo eterno de la prensa, el mismo que forjó al humano sumiso, callado y muestra. En el noticiero, en el artículo del diario, la vida de una bebé que poco invierte
al vecindario.
Sirven como fieles feligreses, a oscuro intereses, mienten todo el día, crean solo estupideces. La historia afirma, indica que siempre negaron información alternativa que todo pueblo merece. A cada instante pareciera su labor asesinar una memoria colectiva que hace una nación. Con una prensa cómplice que juega con humor, desconociendo ese dolor que nos dejó ese dictador. Cortina de humo es su mejor función, para apartarte de la fuente harán de todo. Pues miró hoy como venderte el culo de Sharon Stone, cagándose en tu derecho a la objetiva información. El narco, el almirante, el presidente, el congresista, algún ministro, algún legado, de seguro es el patrón de ese periódico morboso y amarillo que al leerlo 2 minutos te vuelve en un show. Los medios son culpables, responsables de toda propaganda basura que te ofrece la TV. Pues será mejor que se autoeduque, pues my friend, porque el comercio de los medios te carcome hasta las 100.
Hay violaciones, extorsiones, robo, llanto y más. Con tanto muerto el morbo están alimentando, ves no hay paz. Solo un odio contenido en bilis para que vivan en la fantasía algún día cambiará. Hay extorsiones, violaciones, robo, llanto y más. Con tanto muerto el morbo están alimentando, ves no hay paz. Solo un odio contenido en bilis para que vivan en la fantasía algún día cambiará. Que algún día cambiará. Que algún día cambiará.
CPF.
Testing 1 2 3. Okay, all right. I'm having some problems on the back end, family. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know that. Give me a second. Isaiah chapter 58 and cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material and use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
En la Plaza de Reyes, Black Sumenta, Soplón. Yeah. ¿Qué vas a saber? ¿Qué vas a saber tú? Oye, chibolito, faltóme. Pulpín de los pulpines, batería de Rapunzel, de rapeos, de raptos, de lagartos en cuartel. Cualquier la pega de cruel con un viejo coronel. Soy flojo, se me antojó dormirme en el laurel. Elevé mi level con un label y un Faber-Castell. Ya un papel, lo empape con sangre de todo aquel que se jura Nobel y no ve mis trenes en la riel. What's so man? ¿Por qué no sacan la tabua? Juro por mis aguas que no te hablo por las powers. Soy chinchado neto, búscame por Pico Sour y te voy a meter al centro loco como Beckenbauer. Escúchame atento mi bro, que estamos rompiéndole en pro. El negro de Plaza de Reyes como siempre rompe de este micrófono. Que quiere meterle como yo pero no puede meterle taco pro. Si te pensaba que solo era un gallo, déjame decirle que se equivocó. Real motherfucker feeling on the street. Es el Black Sheep, Black Sea Metal de Plaza de Kings. Motherfucker, so bloom.
Dinero Luigi, man, desempeño en la victoria para que sepa. Incas Mo, it's money gang, gang, yeah, yeah, Yo también he llorado, gente. También me han desplazado por mi rasgo afrodescendiente. Sí, un perro no habla pero siente. Cuento historias callejeras pa' barrios de delincuentes. Soy un perro que te ladra, que te muerde y que te huele, nene. Soy más que Lele, ustedes para mí son pelele. Con mi jauría todo el día en busca de los cheles. Tengo un perro en fiscalía que nos mueve los papeles y otro en la comisaría para evitar el susto. Muchas veces me han llevado por solo como luzco. Perdón, madre mía, si yo le causé un disgusto, pero en esta vía yo crecí rodeado de perros chuscos. Yo sé que me quieren ganar, yo sé que me quieren tumbar y no pasará porque soy de verdad. Está súper rafina la Dodo Style, metido en latina aprendiendo un quizá. Yo tengo el style, no mido la raza del perro, yo mido por la lealtad y yo soy leal. Yeah. La calle te enseña lo que no te enseña la universidad. Yeah. Salí de ese peña aquí con una seña, te tiran para atrás. Yeah. La calle limeña aquí nadie la dueña, ya nada es igual. Yeah. Tiene que respetar, yeah. Tiene que respetar. Yeah. La calle te enseña lo que no te enseña la universidad. Yeah. Salí de ese peña aquí con una seña, te tiran para atrás. Yeah. La calle limeña aquí nada le duele, ya nada es igual. Yeah. Tiene que respetar, yeah. Si yo soy tu papá, yeah, yeah, yeah. Cinco Mob, negro. Yeah, Cinco Mob, nigga. Yeah, Nero Luigi, man. Incas Mob, yeah. It's money gang, 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 yeah.
Hey, yo. Yango en la maldita casa. Me llaman pa' que les dé al menos una vez al mes. Se metieron al lago y olvidaron que era el mes. For everybody bless. La fama es una puta, me está llamando a las 3. Dile que llame después de las 16 y 25. Volví de la infancia de Abraham Lincoln. Con fuerza ya inco, luchando para salir del rincón. Letra callejera en CD brinco. Under del under, puede que tu viejo te lo mande. Sale de vez en cuando como el cóndor por los Andes. Mi cuerpo no es de madera como Dandy. Antes que me branden, yo seré la ola que los expande. Aunque esto me pique en la madera, no sirven ni para romper el ticket de un evento afuera. Loco por la carrera, desafían la gravedad. Yo espero tras la barrera y llego con la novedad. Niña, tú solo espera que ya encontré la manera. He visto bastante por querer lograrlo saltando escalones dentro de la escalera. La vida me puso al depósito, yo soy de púlpito pa' que el mundo conociéramos. De esta parte mejor interprete que parido de esta cordillera. Sin luz afuera, que el espectáculo es dentro. La calle es mi templo, tiembla el pavimento. Cuando yo me concentro, mis disparos son temas. La calle un poema, se siente desde cuando entro. Y a toditos estos drogaditos que creen que rapean, los regreso al centro de mi balcón. Yo he visto el clon de clon en la misma gestión, pero a la malla no llega el balón. Y para esta pantalla no soy el patrón. Yo ya me sé la cuestión y doy fue por cada renglón. Consciente de la operación del final de Mbappé con la edad de bufón.
Shalom, shalom, family. Hope y'all can hear me. Lord willing, y'all doing well. Espero que se encuentren bien todos. Welcome to our channel. I don't ever want to say my channel. Our channel, Bible Chronicles, fam. I want to welcome y'all that are new. Raza out there que habla español, bear with me. Estoy tratando de hacer más clases en español. I'm trying to make more classes in Spanish. Now, I haven't done a class around this time in a while, so I am going to try to do my best to stay disciplined, not go too far or too much into talking. I'll let the scripture speak because I do want to present something. Today is a very important topic, I believe, for the whole house of Israel, okay? And you that are watching this channel who have been here a while, you know where I'm coming from. You that are new, I want to let y'all know. In this channel, I talk about the people, the gente of this continent, okay? I'm going to let you guys know that. Yes, I know we're scattered everywhere. But I'm going to concern myself with the people here because I experienced it here. Okay? I wasn't just born here in Los Estados. I was born in Guadalajara. I had a chance to live there quite some time and went back. So I know the spirits regarding towns, cities, and countries. I'm not saying I know more than y'all. No, of course not, man. I'm still a babe. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because what I'm going to share today is a sincere, for you brothers that are our people, that are in these camps, a sincere edifying session. For you heathens that are our enemies, a damn ass whooping. For you fopies out there, get in line, suckers. Okay? Because I'm still waiting for you to debunk some of my, at least one of my videos. Anyhow, today's not about you. Today is about this right here. So now, this is, again, Bible Chronicles for you so-called Hispanics and Native Indians of this continent. You are the people of the book, okay? So all of these other guys,
Bruh. Wait a minute.
That's what I say.
Who are you?
Starting with this group right here. This group right here. Okay? So now, the title is called Why the Cocks Fight. In case you guys don't know, there's a book called that. It says, Why the Cocks Fight? Dominicans, Haitians, and the Struggle for Hispaniola. Now, obviously, I didn't include all that, but in a sense, this is technically what's going on right now. The struggle for our heritage. The struggle for this land, for the actual name that belongs to you brothers and sisters out there that are sincerely suffering. And you don't have to be our people to suffer, but that suffering doesn't necessarily mean something in the flesh, fam. A lot of us have a lot of hardships that we fought, demons that we deal with, alcoholism, drug addiction, adultery, fornication. You can just, obviously, we all have a thorn in the flesh. So now, let's begin. First things first, fam. I'm going to bring up, now, I have something to present to you guys. So I'm going to say this. In my walk, I have always respected the word of the Most High. And what I mean is, I didn't even start reading Sirach or Wisdom of Solomon or even Proverbs unless I was studying the milk until like maybe the third year in this truth. Now, nobody told me to do that. I just knew that there was so much wisdom in those books, the whole Bible, but those books that I did not want to step over myself. And I appreciate the Most High because I've been given that spirit in this entire walk. So now we're almost 6 years, 5.5, so to speak, something to that effect. I don't really remember the date. But now I'm going to present to you guys another book that I have been, that you guys are familiar with, I'm sure. Some of you guys, several of you guys are. But me particularly, the way that I work is I'm not going to use a snapshot of something and then go and preach about it. That's not my style. I'm going to be thorough. I'm going to be clear. And then I'm going to say, you know what? I stand by this book. So today I am going to show you that I stand by this book. There are many more to explore, but I'm going to present to you because I want to make a case. Why do cocks fight? Because the Most High is first of all presenting those spirits upon them. But now, before I go into that, let me read this to y'all. We're going to go here. Okay. So I'm going to use a couple materials. So let's go to the basic one. As you know, Sirach. Now in Sirach 1, well, I want to explain something to you guys. In this section, and I'm going to read from, I'm not going to read it all, okay? I'm going to start from here all the way down to like here. Somewhere around here, all right? Here goes right here. So I'm going to read it so you guys can see why it takes time. So you brothers and sisters, or you brothers that are newer, or even longer, take time with the books that you have. Don't rush into this knowledge, wisdom, and power. I promise you that it will come in its time. We all have gifts. Take your time. Sirach, chapter 1, verse technically 1, but it's a prologue. It says, and it reads, but let me show you. The prologue of the wisdom of Jesus, the son of Sirach, whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets, and by others that have followed their steps, for the which things Israel ought to be commanded for learning and wisdom, and whereof not only the readers must needs become skillful themselves, okay, but also they that desire to learn be able to profit them which are without. So you learn, and then you share it to those that are not able to understand it, maybe. Remember, prophecy is not a private interpretation. And, I study not for myself only, but for those that need the wisdom and sincerity. Then it says, both by speaking and writing, my grandfather Jesus, when he had much given himself to the reading of the law and the prophets and the other books of our fathers, and had gotten therein good judgment, was drawn on also himself to write something pertaining to the learning and wisdom, to the intent that those which are desirous to learn and are addicted to these things, which I definitely can concur, might profit much more in living according to the law. And it reads, wherefore, let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words. See? He's saying the interpretation, maybe, let's continue, which we have labored to interpret. Exactly. So let's read that again. And to pardon us, when we may seem to come short of some words which we have labored to interpret. Why? For the same thing uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force, right, in them. And not only those things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language. So why am I saying this and reading this to you guys? Because here it clearly says that after translation and translation, we will at least lose a portion of what the actual word really means. That's what it says. And are addicted to those things, right? Might profit much more in living according to the law. Wherefore, let me entreat you to read it in favor and attention. So meaning what, fam? You mean you have to be diligent in this book, in the studies, Joshua 1:8, all of those things. So it says here, then it says, which they labor to interpret, for the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated in another language have not the same force in them. So why do I say take your time? Because the Most High will reveal things to you, because you cannot be to and fro. One day you're believing the Messiah, next you don't believe in the Messiah. Next you're just an Old Testament keeper, and all of a sudden you don't even realize what's missing, because I cannot wrap my mind on those guys or gals. You guys are still sacrificing animals, I'm assuming, if you're an Old Testament guy. And that means that if you commit adultery, then that means you actually have to physically commit adultery. So then sin is not in the thought. I mean, forget what James said. Forget what Paul said. You don't deal with the flesh or the spirit. No, you good. And when do you know to stop sacrificing? Where does it say in the Bible you could in the Old Testament? All those things have not been revealed yet. But anyhow, that's not my point. Here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line, family. In order for you to understand this book, first things is first. Regardless of what anybody tells you, regardless of how old you are, how young you are, how strong you are, smart you are, intellectually advanced you are, awesome memories you got, don't matter a damn effing thing. Unless this, Psalms 111 and 10. The fear of the Lord is, you see it's italicized, is, meaning moving forward, meaning action, meaning verb. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. So the first things first, family, you better fear the Most High. That's without a doubt. Another thing, 1 Peter 4:8, it says, and above all things, you see, this is what it really matters. This is where it really comes down to, family. Let me turn on the camera. I didn't realize it was on. Hold on. This is where it really matters, family. Because at this point, what's going on? Doesn't work. Guess it doesn't work. Oh, well. Anyways, let me go back in class then. It says, and above all things, above all, obviously, this is the first commandment and the second commandment, or the second commandment or the first commandment. These are the two commandments right here. Above all things, have fervent, meaning fire. Que con ganas, güey. Charity among yourselves, meaning have love for your brother. Have love for your sister. Hey, shalom, Vladimir. Have love for your family. If you keep the laws and I keep the laws and we're both married, never will I concern myself with you abusing, taking advantage of maybe one of my children or my wife. And you would feel the same way. Or rob me or steal from me. Or envy me. Or have hate for me. Because we all go through that in families. So it says, and above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves. For charity shall cover the multitude of sin. So what was the first thing? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And then above all, have charity. Now let's go to 2nd Ezra. Obviously, I'm trying to establish my point before I get into the actual book. So I want to make sure that I prove my cause. That's what the Bible says. Prove your cause. Provide your cause, right? 2nd Ezra 14:24 reads like this. It says, But look thou prepare thee many box trees, and take it with thee Saria, Dabria, Selemia, Echanas, and Asiel, these 5 which are ready to write swiftly, and come hither, and I shall light a candle of understanding in thine heart, which shall not be put out till the things be performed which thou shalt begin to write. Okay, so I'm stating this because the light comes from the Most High. All right? This is not out of vainglory of mine. I sincerely have respect for the word of the Most High. I don't want to jump the gun on some things that I don't know. Some things I just don't know. 2nd Ezra 14:42. We're going to skip a little bit. Then it says, The highest gave understanding unto 5 men, and they wrote the wonderful visions of the night that were told, which they knew not. And they sat 40 days and wrote in the day and at night, and they ate bread. As for me, I spake in the day, and I held not my tongue by night. In 40 days, they wrote 204 books. Where are those books? So again, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Remember, I say that because before I went on and started trying to learn the book, the Bible, everything, as I said it, I'm going to prove it. 1 Peter 2:1, it says, wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and all hypocrisy and envies and all evil speaking. So it says, lay aside all that, right? Because there's a continuing statement. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. So I desired the milk. I didn't care too much about all these other things. Not at that time. You know why? Because I knew within me, as the scriptures say, know thyself, within me, I knew. And excuse my language and, the way I may sound to y'all, but I knew that I was a piece of shit. I told y'all, you guys are, your family of mine know me. Since you met me, I come from an alcoholic background. That's my history. So I knew from learning those things that people like me can have all those defects. And all of us have malice, guile. All of us are hypocrites. All of us are or have been envious. And we all have been evil in our speaking. Can't deny that. So before you learn the knowledge of the Most High, the wisdom, the books, the material, the first thing you do is you lay aside all malice, guile, hypocrisies, and envy, and all evil speaking, because that's not what the Most High wants out of you. Now, there's a lot of people in these platforms that they sound like they know it all, and they know when they sound like they understand the Bible, and you're like, well, how does that work? Well, listen, family. You see, they themselves are fooling themselves. We can't determine. That knowledge can be showed today. Because I'm going to tell you something, fam. You Hebrews of the Bible, you that understand the privilege that we have to be chosen among all men, to be given laws, statutes, and commandments, and to even have the opportunity to fulfill our covenant. I don't have time to boast about how much better I am than other nations. I'm just thankful that I have the chance to repent. And I talk to a lot of brothers, and we're all thankful that we have the chance to repent. I could care less what the Most High looks like. A lot of brothers that I know, we could care less what he looks like, because we know for a fact that when I looked in the mirror, I was a piece of shit. The last thing I had in my mind was an effing image. Because I know that me in this walk, I had malice, I had guile, I was a hypocrite, I was envious, I was evil, I was angry, and I spoke evil of people. So at least I was able to acknowledge that, and that's why the Most High revealed more to me as time went on. That's what it says, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. Okay, so now, how does this happen? How do you desire? What did I do? Now, I'm not going to read it all. I'm going to show y'all. You'll need to read this chapter. Sirach, chapter 6, verse 23 and 27. 29. And it's basically talking about the laws of the Most High. It's a parable in a sense. He uses shackles and fetters, and bow thou yourself to those shackles and fetters, right? Like straight, give yourself up to those limitations. It's like you're kind of walking in chains. You can't move further, right? Then it says, seek, search, and you'll find her. Meaning, that's why Paul said, examine yourself if you're in the faith, because who? The Lord dwelleth within you. You have the wisdom if you're of the child of the Most High. You just have to search and search it. And that wisdom comes from you tearing down all of them damn malice and evil speaking and envy. All that starts happening. But how? Through these fetters. And then there'll be a strong defense. So that's how you get rid of malice, the actual discipline. That's in a nutshell. That's what I have been doing. That's what I do. Watch this real quick. Let's go to John. So, all right. So remember that. Sirach 6. Read that chapter and meditate. 23 to 27. You got to meditate on that one. John 21:25. Look what it reads. It says, and there are also many other things which Jesus did, or the Messiah, the Mashiach, or Yahweh, however you want to name him. I don't like the name Jesus, to be honest, but I'm not really into the whole name thing. I'm just going to be frank with y'all. Lord willing, he forgives me if I am in error. And there are also many other things which the Messiah did, which, if they should be written, everyone, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written. Amen. So clear as day that there's a lot of things that are not being revealed to us. Do you want to know something, fam? I mean, I hate to be repetitive, but it starts here. Because if you're not rooted, you will be like the seed. You know, the 4 seeds, right? If you're not well rooted, you'll be to and fro and you'll fall apart with whatever doctrine, or you're not even solid. Like, for example, whoever you are, whatever camp, whether you're a Canaanite camp or one of our people's camp, right? If you disagree with any of the prophets of the book, then you're to and fro. You're not rooted. If you can't agree with the Messiah and then not Paul. You can't agree with Paul and then not the Messiah. Or you can't agree with the Old Testament and then not the New Testament. You got to have the whole roll. But, I guess, what do I know, right? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That's all I know. And a good understanding have all they that do his commandments. That's what I do, try as hard as I can to do my best in discipline. Because I know this for a fact, and I'm going to answer y'all that you probably are talking, because I do bring a lot of materials, but I've had that material forever, for more than 4 years, the stuff I'm bringing out to y'all. Because I'm very mindful of this. Ecclesiastes 12:12, and further, by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. When you're not rooted in what? 1 Peter 2:1. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word. Before you go do that, guess what? Get rid of malice. That's why if you don't get rid of malice, guile, envy, strife, anger, alcoholism, adultery, whatever it is, all the crap that you're dealing with, guess what? That's why it says many books, you'll have no end. And guess what? You'll never be truly rooted. That's why some of these guys that are over here making so-called debates, they get embarrassed. Or now you got people believing that they're freaking Spaniards. It is what it is. If you're a Spaniard, you're not my people, man. Now, I know our people went to Spain, but not with that spirit. And I'm also mindful of this. Proverbs 3:7, it says, watch this, be not wise in thy own eyes. I'm mindful of that. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. How? By making sure that I am not, oh yeah, I know. Nah, man, I don't. I study, I make sure, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Why do I call these camps Canaanites? Because I've actually experienced it. I've been in those rooms. The spirit is different, fam. I know who I am now, and I know I'm not them. And if that don't make me a Hebrew, then it don't make me a Hebrew. But I'm still going to keep the laws. I know damn well for a fact that that's just a statement of mine. I know now in my spirit and soul. I know for a fact with all the studies and the history and everything, and even going to the so-called white man and giving them my information, and they tell me that I'm 92% of this continent. And then, oh, by the way, my DNA actually falls right in smack bottom of where Abraham was. Yeah, go figure. Let's read Sirach 3. Okay. Sirach 3, verse 17. Watch what it reads. It says, my son, go on with thy business in meekness, so that thou should be beloved of him that is approved. So see, I talk to you brothers, and you guys know me. I may have information. I don't ever try to sound like I know more than people, bro. I don't ever want to be that way. I really don't ever. I got a lot of knowledge, man, but I don't share it. Even with my business in life, I don't talk like that. That's the blessings of the Most High. Then it says, the greater thou art, the more humble the more humble thyself. Come on, man, give me some of that love. And thou shalt find favor before the Lord. Because you know what? Just like Paul said, man, there's a thorn in the flesh. Here it goes. Hold on. Let me. I have that thorn. Sorry. Here it goes right here. Because I know where I come from. I was one sofa away from being a damn homeless individual. Why? Because of my alcoholism. That's a fact. 2 Corinthians 12:7, it says, unless I should be exalted. What? No, a matter of fact, let me go up a little bit. It says, verse 5, let's see. Of such are one myself. Okay. Of such and one will I glory, yet of myself I will not glory, but in my infirmities. Let me make sure that you guys understand that before I go further. 2 Corinthians 5, right? Watch this. It says, I will boast, so will I boast about this man, but I will not boast about myself except the things that show how weak I am. You understand that? So it's like, for example, me, in my alcoholism, I found strength. In my weakness, I found strength. For such and one will I glory, yet of myself I will not glory, but in my infirmities. Those things I do glory, because through my damn ism, I realize that I have a body that wants to kill me and a mind that says it's okay. Because what happens with that, that's a different topic, fam. But it's a heavy topic. Because what ends up happening is you, in a way, the ism conditions your body, your flesh, to be the mind. And now you're stuck in the ism. I'm going to do a class on that again. But it says, lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelation. No, I'm sorry. I skipped it. I'm sorry. Infirmities. For though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool, for I will say the truth. But now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me, meaning like, yeah, I know this, and that guy knows that, and he's great, and da. And then, Paul says, lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of revelation. Yeah, man, I'm the shit. Yeah, that's right. I know the books. Yeah. I'm Elijah now. I'm John the Baptist now. There was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measures. That's exactly what I'm talking about, fam. Because when you actually go like that, I want to make sure, and I remember that I was a damn alcoholic, will always be an alcoholic. And if I ever pick up again, I could destroy my family, destroy my soul. I know now that whenever I drink, it's not even about the recovery, the physical aspect. I know now that when I drink, the Spirit of the Most High departs from me. In my class on alcoholism, y'all need to watch it. Great class. I bring that example. I'll do another one and bring it up again. But I make sure that I'm not, I know where I come from, man. Bottom barrel alcoholic. So that's my thorn in the flesh to buffet me, so that I don't go exalting above measure, which is why, let's go back to Sirach 3. Let's not forget the point. We're halfway through. Fam. We're doing good. Sirach 3:17, my son, go on with thy meekness, so thou shalt be beloved of him that is approved, meaning he will give you wisdom and understanding as time goes on. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. So as you provide charity and love for your brethren, and you're sincere about it, he'll reveal more to you. Many are in high places and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. See? So me personally, I know the wisdom that I'm getting from the Most High is that I'm learning about me. That I don't mind doing a personal inventory. I don't mind going through all the qualities and defects, character defects, and pinpointing out which ones I can actually work on and break down apart and know where that came from, where that vein came from, what root it came from. That I learned it from my mom, from my dad, and I'm not afraid to face my sins. Why? Because the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. Because the book has showed me how to go deep in me. Guess what, family? You know who the biggest enemy is? Is you. For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Watch this. Many are in high places and are renowned, but the mysteries are revealed unto the meek. Then it says, seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. So I don't remember ever really striving for that, trying to be above and beyond what, nah. I was interested in memorizing the precepts, but it wasn't to know more than others. Me personally, I've always had a lot of questions. So here, I'm showing you, brothers and sisters, that you may or may not be impressed with material I bring out. Let me tell you this right now. I've had this material for a long time. And until now, the Most High has been revealing it to me to show you. He obviously gave it to me then. So it says, seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. But why is he saying that too? It says, but what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret, because it's not time yet. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. Meaning that even the basic classes that I've showed you, brothers, or the little that you know, or the commandments here and there, that's a lot more than a lot of men in the whole world. Then it says, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion. Really? Bruh. Really? Hold on. Bruh. And we're going to see that. And evil suspicions had overthrown their judgment. Hold on. I need a button for that, man. Come on, bro. You know, I'm the only one here, fam. It's like I'm a drummer. I'm the guitar guy. I'm the trumpet guy. I'm the singer. You know what I mean? I'm the like, you know that guy? Cantando la ranchera. That was a joke. But anyways, here we see that evil suspicion shall overthrow you. Okay? Let's go to 2nd Ezra now. Go back. Precept upon precept, family. Precept upon precept. Remember that. Line upon line. Little here, little there. That's Isaiah 28. 2nd Ezra 6:17. Let's read it. It reads, and it happened that when I heard it, I stood upon my feet and hearkened. And behold, there was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. Okay? We're going to read to verse 20. And I will begin to make inquisition of them, but they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. And when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, and when the world shall begin to vanish away, shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. So that is what's going to happen. But I read it to you guys because we're getting a little bit of it, which with much more clarity. Much more clarity. Watch what Psalms 115 says real quick. All right. It's in some similar vein. It says, the Lord had been mindful of us. He will bless us. He will bless the house of Israel. He will bless the house of Aaron. How do you bless somebody? Remember the blessings and the curses? Why do we get cursed? Because we didn't apply the blessings. We get blessings through the wisdom. Deuteronomy 4. So we see here, right? The Lord hath been mindful of us. He will bless us. He will bless the house of Israel. He will bless the house of Aaron. He will bless them that fear. Here we go again. Both small and great. The Lord had increased you more. The Lord shall increase you more and more, you and your children. Ye are blessed of the Lord, which have made heaven and earth. So as you can see, the increase will come in time. The increase will come in time. But he will bless us. And how? Again, going back to this, fam. Let me not lose you. Psalms 111 and 10. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So now, before I get into this whole little video thing that I'm going to show y'all, I'm going to tell you something, family. Proverbs 3:9 reads this, okay? It says, honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruits of thine increase. Where am I reading it? I'm going to show you something, okay? Leviticus 19:23 reads this. And when ye shall come into the land and have planted all manner of trees for food, then ye shall count the fruit thereof as uncircumcised. 3 years shall it be as uncircumcised unto you. It shall not be eaten of. But on the 4th year, all the fruit thereof shall be holy to praise the Lord withal. And in the 5th year, ye shall eat the first fruit thereof. And it be made yield unto you an increase thereof. I am the Lord your God. So you see this? The first 3 years, you're not even supposed to do anything with it. Then on the 4th year, you're supposed to offer to the Most High. Then on the 5th year, you'll actually reap the benefits for yourself. It's like the walk. It's like growing in this truth. So you honor the Most High with thy substance and thy first fruit. Now, why am I saying this? Because when you're out there and you're learning, you want to go out and teach. You want to teach your brothers and sisters. Yeah, I get that, fam. But there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. We have instructions. Sirach 28. Watch this. It says, remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest and wink at ignorance. So, it's telling you, hey, man, when somebody's being a fool, bro, like, just let it go. Just let it go. Right? Then it says, abstain from strife, and thou shalt diminish thy sins. For a furious man will kindle strife. And it says, a sinful man, right? Where are you at? 9, 10. A sinful man disquieteth friends, and make a debate among them that be at peace. As the matter of fire is, so it burneth. And as a man's strength is, so is his wrath. And according to his riches, his anger riseth, and the stronger they are which contend, the more they will be inflamed. So now we see that the more you trigger, the more you anger, the worse it gets. And hasty contention kindle the fire, and a hasty fighting sheddeth blood. If thou blow to spark, it shall burn. If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched. And both of these come out of the mouth. Why am I reading this? Here's why. Let's go to James. I see some brothers left and went. It's all good, man. You either, believe or don't believe. It's all good. James 3:13 says, who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. But if ye have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. But this wisdom descended not from above. It is earthly, sensual, devilish. For where envy is and strife, where envy and strife is, there's confusion and every evil work. I'll show you this. I wasn't going to bring this up, but I have to bring it up because this isn't the first time. All right. Let me see. Watch this. This has been going on for some time. All right. And let's listen in to show you. Here we go.
Bet you won't move us the fuck off. I'm not trying to move. I bet you won't move. I'm not trying to move. I swear to fuck you in my face, nigga. What are you in my face then, nigga? Look, I want to be in your face, nigga. Okay, so what we doing? What we doing? We wasting time or what? We finna speak. We finna teach. I'm just saying, we gonna be right here. What's it about? Nigga, you know what we about. What is about? Keep asking me that. You know what we about. Okay, what's it about? What the fuck you mean? We out here teaching 12 times years. What the fuck you mean what it's about? We here? We don't give a fuck about you, nigga. You just a Christian. Okay? Jesus just another Christian. Okay? All right. That's another church. All right. Y'all nigga, y'all another Christian.
Notice this guy had to cross the street. Okay, let's go.
Y'all some damn gangsters. You a hoe, nigga. Okay? I'll be there. I'll be there. Ain't no general Honda shit. It's Larry Hoover block. It's Larry Hoover. Get the fuck off my face, nigga. Larry Hoover block. Nigga, yeah, I know. Throw a CD. That's what they really are, nigga. Come on, man. Why y'all doing it? Because this our block. This ain't y'all block. It's Commander Trinity on the block, nigga. That's all we doing, nigga. We ain't got no problem. They lightweight. You obviously got a
See what I'm saying? So here we see this happened a couple years ago. Okay, that wasn't recent. This was recent. But I'm gonna point something out. Look, I don't take sides on these camps, but I was with IUIC for 4 years, and I went to a lot of their camp, like camp setup, the training, and all that. I'm gonna tell you something about IUIC. They're very disciplined when it comes to that. It's very clear that they do have military and cops in those schools. That's how they get the organization going. But as well as I know that, there are certain things that I saw that triggered this fight. So I want to first point out why the scriptures I showed you before is because I'm going to bring a material that I've never brought out in this channel. But I'm going to stand behind it today. And it's going to basically answer to what I've been saying for quite some time. That we're dealing with Canaan. Because the same spirit is there. Look, listen, fam. We're seeing fights on the streets over the Bible. And that is connected to a heritage, which they say belongs to them. And yet they're not from this continent. So here's currently what happened. Now, I want to point something out. Okay? IOIC has these trainings every week, without hesitation. And then they do it in practice in the mornings on Sabbath. Okay? And I mean, it's what everybody does. It's a camp. You protect yourself, and you know what I'm saying? Like, they show you this, and they make sure that you know how to take care of camp. What's your position? What's your responsibility? Your left front, right front. The guy that's reading, the guy that's teaching, the guys that are watching, camp, office captains, officers, they all know what their duties are. The people that set up and the people that disassemble, they know their duties. Okay? So as you can see, these guys lined up. These guys are supposed to undo these things. These guys assembled it and they disassembled it because that's who gets in line. All right? So several points I'm going to make on this channel. Let's go.
But now that we talking about that homosexual act that they did in that group, what are they doing? What do they do? He brought his gay ass back over this time. He can't address this.
So obviously the other cat over here in this camp, ISUPK, is basically talking about some homosexual stuff that's going on. I don't know. That's between them. That's your nation. You deal with it. Canaan loves sodomy. So I don't know. But let's continue.
It's fight.
I'm going to pause it right there. Why am I pausing it right there? I'm pausing it right here because look at these men standing here. Look at this man standing here. And these men, these are the closest men to the guys over here. So the reason why is because in camp, they tell you, get organized. You know, everybody knows what they're supposed to be for the most part. Nothing is technically out of order so far in here. But I'm going to show you what's clear today out of order for me. Hold on. Watch this. Right there. Right there. And you guys are like, what is he seeing? What? I'm going to tell you something. You see, I saw Sakari make a video about these guys, right? And I'm going to tell you something. Sakari, y'all need to shut up. You guys are a bunch of undisciplined children. You don't understand discipline. Your camps are never disciplined. So how would I even assume that you're going to understand discipline? You blame my ISUPK on this. Maybe they are hating. Maybe they don't. I don't care. What I care about is one individual triggered all of this. And you could see it from the get-go because he was out of order. This guy right here. He's already looking at them. Look where he's coming from. Watch.
And press also report.
There he goes. While he is not part of the camp setup team. He was over there passing flyers or something. Yeah, he was passing flyers. Look at that. So he should mind his business. But he didn't. Watch this.
That John Lewis using the name.
So there, he's watching the disassembling of the equipment. Fine, let's go.
Has been connected. He was connected with who?
But then now, he's like, no, let me help you. Why? Okay, maybe to hold it. I get it. But first of all, why are you here? You're coming from way over here. Look at you. And you could see in his face. Right there. You see that? He's like, he purposely looks over, man. He like leans over like, let me check these guys out. Hey, shalom, brother, shalom. Like, let me lay these brothers out. It's like, what? Then he goes like this. Comes over, crosses all the way over here. Now he's disassembling. Let's go.
With who? With the Israel. With the what? With the Israel. With the what? With the Israel united in Christ.
So now you see he's taking it apart. There's no need for him to go that way. Just grab it. Walk back. But it didn't happen.
What you gonna say about that?
See, there. He reached for the chair. Why? Like, seriously, why? The chair wasn't bothering you. And one thing, I'm going to tell you this, family. In these camps, you are taught to make sure you guard your material. Don't let nobody touch it. And if they do, hey, say, excuse me, don't touch that. But you don't touch anybody's, camp setup, ever. That guy right there, this guy right here, he came all the way across from over there. He's out of order, 100%. So because even if this young man here, he's much bigger than him, there are more people, he should have already known. This guy tries to push the speaker away. Here it goes.
Now them sisters gotta pack up and leave. You better not move. You better not move. I got police. You better not move. You better not move.
Stand still, bro. Stand your ass still. Stand your ass still, bro. Oh, shit.
You got him checked.
Now, listen, family. One thing I want you to know is that when you're preparing for these things, right? Obviously, you got to use muscle. You're dealing with men. So these guys got bruised up. They got bruised under their armpits and their arms. I'm sure they hit a knee or two, whatever. Who knows, man? But what did the scripture say? Sensual, devilish. It says here, for where envying and strife is, there is confusion and evil work. Let's continue.
Man, I knew that was coming.
Damn, you hear the guy? The guy, this is just a random individual. He said, damn, I knew that was coming. Wow. These are the men of the Lord, so-called Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. Por favor. Let's go.
I'm not gonna do this. Sorry, brother. You're not do that, bro. Nigga.
The thing's a hoe.
I'm gonna do that, bro. No, I'm not gonna do that, bro. Nigga. No. I was just not gonna do that, brother.
Now it's all peace, right?
The guy says, "Oh, so is this what you wanted? Now it's on tape." And the guy's like, "I don't know. That's not on me, man." So this guy here, he's walking because he understands now this is not a good thing. This is not a gangs, guys. Listen to me. Here, I'm gonna put me on the mic. You see, us that grew up in the hood, right, in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, this is hood shit. This is straight hood crap. We're running from this. Us brothers and sisters that have been destroyed and just should have died 1,000 times because of how many times I broke the commandment. Several of us understand that this is not what we want. So you, so-called Hispanic, when you're in these rooms and you ask yourself, yo, brother, I know we don't roll like that. You got to ask yourself, why? Why do they have the spirit and you don't? I'm going to show you why. This is why I did the class. So now it's time to bring it out. So check this out. Let me give you some scriptures again because I don't want to forget, man. I don't want to forget, fam. Oh, by the way, let me go ahead and take this off. Bam. Watch this real quick. Let's go to Matthew 10. Matthew 10:26, it reads, I'm going to let the Bible speak. Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. We are seeing the true spirit of a nation of people. You'll see why. Let's go to Psalms 50, because a lot of us, we watch these camps and we're like, man, you see a lot of so-called black folks and you got Fopi dumbasses, right? And try to tell you guys are Mongols, you're not the Hebrews of the Bible. So you're like, man, but they all, walk in these rooms and they believe and all this and that. Well, here's why. Psalms 50, verse 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. You guys are getting set in order right now. Because our brothers that are actually in these rooms that are still deceived, hopefully this starts waking you up. Not through my channel, whatever, man. I don't mean nothing to y'all. 300 people, all praise to the Most High. Y'all are crazy like me. But hopefully that you find out and the Most High opens your ears. 2 Thessalonians 2:3 says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Now you guys think that, oh yeah, he's talking about, nah. You guys don't understand. Look, it says, believe, right? Sin be revealed, Verse 6. And now ye know that withhold that know what withhold it, that he might be revealed in its time. Verse 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed. You see, we technically were already being clear on the fact that, at least at that time, that America was conquered by only the white man. And there was this hate, anger, and perpetual destruction towards us only. And these camps told us it was them only. It was just them. And then they pointed it out at the Asians and then Arabs. And then we're like, well, what about these Africans? Oh, never mind them. Huh? Don't mind them, dude. But Amalek, oh, and Moabites and Ishmaelites, yeah. Well, what about the Africans? Never mind them. Well, let me remind you of this, family. Don't these guys come like this? 2 Corinthians 13 and 11 and 13. It says, for such are false prophets, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. Don't they come across all like, yeah, we're righteous? And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into the angel of light. Damn. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as ministers of righteousness, meaning that they will actually be the ones trying to teach you the laws of God and act like it's all good. Now, why all of this? Where does it lead to? You see, here's why, fam. Here's why. I'm going to show you this real quick. This right here is fake. And it's not fake, Fopi, because of us. It's fake because of yo asses. Make it make sense. You look like Africans of Africa, but you're not wanting to be from your continent. You bring up books that literally say who you are, but you care not to listen to them. You brought out this book once. Watch this, fam. It's from a book called The Jew and Negro. Okay? They bring up this material and say, yeah, you see, we were here before Columbus. Okay, let's read it. Page 51. Did the Negroes know America or of America? Diodorus Siculus tells us that the Phoenicians in early times sailed beyond Hercules' pillars along the African coast, and there meeting with storms and tempests were carried to the remotest parts of the ocean, and after many days came to a vast island at a great distance from Libya and lying very far west. The Phoenicians informed the Carthaginians of this place, and the Carthaginians, prohibiting other nations from settling in it, they reserved it for themselves as a place of retirement if they should ever be driven from their native soil. So, how convenient, Mr. Africans, how convenient that you show this. Yeah, well, why don't you show the whole thing? The whole thing. And nothing but the thing. Matter of fact, I already have it up. Hold on. Oh, no, I don't. My bad. Because see, in this channel, facts tell, stories sell. And what you Canaanites are trying to do is you're trying to sell a story. But we're going to debunk your stupid ass story and put you in check. And damn well put you in line again and remind you who the hell you guys are. Because this is the house of the Lord, damn it. And you're not going to take nothing from us. Let's read this real quick. This is from Topos Text. A Katerini. I don't even know where I found this, family, honestly. It's just awesome research for the Most High. Let's read. So I want to show you. In 5.20.1 is mentioning what they're saying, okay? Actually, where you at? 19? Is it 19? Somewhere around here. Where are you at? 19.1? Is it 19.1? There it goes right here. Okay? So they just show that this part. Where are you at? Hold on. Where they thought that. Okay. They just show this. The 5.20.3. Okay? They show that. But they don't show this. So let's read it. Because this, as a matter of fact, let's read this one first. So you'll see that I'm not lying. Okay? Remember the book? Come on, man. Remember the book, family. It reads, the Phoenicians then, while exploring the coast outside of the pillars for the reasons we have stated while sailing along the shores of Libya, were driven by strong winds a great distance out of the ocean. And after being storm-tossed for many days, they were carried ashore on the islands we mentioned above. And when they had observed its facility and the nature, they caused it to be known to all men. Consequently, the Tyranians, at the time they were masters of the sea, purposed to dispatch a colony to it. But the Carthaginians prevented them doing so, partly out of concern lest many inhabitants of Carthage should remove there because of the excellence of the island, which in Colombia, there's a place called Cartagena, makes you wonder why, where the men sleep with donkeys. Yeah, I said it, and it's true. Look it up. And partly in order to have ready in it a place in which to seek refuge against an incalculable turn of fortune in case some total disaster should take over Carthage. For it was thought that it was their thought that since they were the masters of the sea, they would thus be able to move household and all to an island which was unknown to their conqueror. Okay? So, yeah, like, oh, okay, so you guys did find an island. Oh my God, you guys are right. Columbus. Man, shut up. Sit down. Here goes. 5.19.1. But now that we have discussed what relates to the island, which lie with the pillars of Hercules, we shall give an account of those which are in the ocean. For there lies, out of deep of Libya, an island of considerable size, and situated at as it is in the ocean in a distance from Libya, a voyage of a number of days to the west. Here goes. It is a land fruitful, much of it being mountainous, and not a little being a level plain of surpassing beauty. Then it goes, through it flow navigable rivers, which are used for irrigation. What? But who's using them? Wait, hold on. What? Navigable rivers. Then it says, and the island contains many parks planted with trees of every variety and gardens in great multitudes, which are traversed by streams of sweet water. Oh, on it also are private villas of costly construction. Wait, what? Wait, what? And through the gardens, banqueting houses have been constructed in a settling of flowers, and in them the inhabitants pass their time during the summer. What? And in them, the inhabitants, damn Canaanites, get that through your damn woolly head. In them, the inhabitants pass their time during the summer, since the land supplies in abundance everything which contributes to the enjoyment of luxury. Then it says the mountains, part of an island, are covered with dense thickets, great extended, fruit trees, variety, enjoyable, past their life, but they're also contribute. Look, it says here, and the inviting, let's see, the great extended fruit trees of every variety, and inviting men to life among the mountains. It has cozy glens and springs in great numbers. In other words, this island is well supplied with springs of sweet water, which not only makes the use of it enjoyable for those who pass their life there, but also contribute to the health and vigor of their bodies. What? So I ask you, Canaanites.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
There is also excellent hunting in every manner of beast and wild animal, and the inhabitants being well supplied with game at their feast, lack of nothing which pertains to luxury and extravagance. For in fact, that the sea which washes the shores of the island contains multitude of fish, since the character of the ocean is such that it abounds throughout its extent with fish of every variety. So now, you wabos, you dummies, if you guys were Africans, if you guys were here, then they would have never said those people. They would have said, you Africans are here too. But again, somehow, some way, knowledge is painful for the heathen. So remember, family, this link is extremely detailed, telling us that yes, they knew there was land here, and they also knew that there were people here. And I'm going to give you one in case y'all don't know. The land in the areas over here, when they started coming first, they knew it as Temestitan. For real. They knew it as that word. And I have more material to show y'all. But again, the only way this happens is if you are meek and you fear the Most High. Because he's not going to give you this information. No, nobody told me this, family. I didn't go to some school and say, oh, look, guys, look, somebody. No, I literally was given this by the Most High. Because this is through research. He put me to work. He changed my spirit. He strengthened my memory. That's exactly what's going on right here. Because look, this right here that you see, I'm going to show you something. Lord willing, I can see. Oh, let me see. Maybe it's in my, hold on. And you know what I find funny, fam? Also, too, is this. I have 144 friends. 144,000. Anyhow, I just thought it was funny. But let me continue here. Hold on. I'm going to show you this real quick. Let me see. Hold up. Where are you? It's one of my old pictures. And it's highlighted. Is it this one? No. Hold on. Let's see. Bear with me, family. Bear with me, please. I need to show you this because it correlates with what I just read to you. It is the book regarding, and I don't know if it's, I can't remember the book. Oh my God. It just passes me. Let's see if I can find it here. And it's talking about how when the Spaniards came, they saw the splendor. Here it goes. All praises to the Most High. Ah, man. Which one is that? What book is that? Oh, shoot. Let me see if I can find it again. Okay. So it's purple. Hold on. Give me a second, family. Give me a second. All right. Give me a second. I want to put you on hold for a brief bit. Don't leave me, fam. All right. Don't leave me. Just bear with me. I'm going to put you on pause. Hold on. It's a picture because what it does is, and if I don't find it, I'll just summarize it, but I hate to summarize it. I want to show you. When the Spaniards had arrived, they marveled of how beautiful Tenochtitlan was. They marveled at the aqueducts, at the construction of the buildings, the gardens, the zoos. Tenochtitlan was filled with 2-story homes, fruit trees, and this is from their own mouth. When they showed up to our continent, to our land, they're like, man, there's no land like this. I've never seen anything as beautiful as this. Not even Rome, or was it at Venice or something like that, would even measure to the beauty and abundance of our people. Let me see. Here it goes right here. There it goes. All praise to the Most High. Give me a second, fam. I'm going to take this off. Hold on. Stay with me. There you go. Boom. All right. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Let me send it over here real quick. Yeah, I need to see this because you come from a beautiful lineage family. You guys are beautiful people. And if anybody needs salvation, man, or at least an opportunity to repent, is our people. Because, man, our people have suffered a lot. And those are just facts. Those are just facts. Here it goes right here. And I don't remember the book, but I will promise you that I'll get it next time. It says here, as impressive as in Iztapalapa was, the Spanish were seeking the heart of this great empire. So they pressed on. Here, let me see if I can open it up. So they pressed on. In addition to the cities that surrounded the Lake of the Moon, other towns were like Tenochtitlan or Temestitan, built on smaller islands within. As they neared the area, and by the way, Temestitan sounds a lot like Hundestan, right? Anyways, just saying, near the area that would take them to Tenochtitlan. Bernarius wrote, when they saw so many cities and villages built in the water, and other great towns built on dry land, and that straight and level causeways going towards Tenochtitlan, were amazed and said that it was like an enchantment they tell of in the legend of Amadis, on the account of the great towers and temples and buildings rising from the water and all built of masonry. And some of the soldiers even asked whether the things that they saw were not a dream. Finally, they reached one of the causeways leading directly to Tenochtitlan. They pushed their way across, and although it was so crowded, it says here, about 600,000 pale stucco houses filled the islands, metropolises, some of them single-story structures, some of them multi-stories, and all of these houses, wrote Cortez, have very large and very good rooms, and also very pleasant gardens of various sorts of flowers, both on the upper and lower floors. The many streets and boulevards of the city were so neat and well swept, despite its multitude of inhabitants, that the first Europeans to visit never tired of remarking on the city's cleanness and order. There were even officials in charge of sweeping, recalled one odd observer. In fact, at least 1,000 public workers were employed to maintain the city's net streets and kept them clean and watered. Watch this. Let me skip it. It says here, crisscrossed with a complex network of canals, right? Remember the canals? Let me show you. Let's not forget. Right here it says, through it flow navigable rivers, which are used for irrigation. All right? So let's continue. It says here, it crisscrossed with complex networks of canals. Tenochtitlan, in this respect, reminded the Spaniards of an enormous Venice, but it also had remarkable floating gardens that reminded them of nowhere else on the earth. And while European cities, floating gardens, right? Floating gardens. And what does it say right here? It says here, the land is fruitful, much of it mountainous, and not being not a level plain of surpassing beauty. Through it flows navigable rivers, which are used for irrigation, and the island contains many parks planted with trees of every variety, and gardens in multitudes which are traversed by streams of sweet water, and gardens in great multitudes which are traversed by streams of sweet water. Isn't that what it says here? Family, come on now. You're going to tell me you still don't believe you're the people of the book? Look, this is so funny to me. Let's look. 2 people are on right now. 9 people have viewed this channel. 9 people. Why, fam? Because I didn't go with my intro with blasting these idiots? You see, this is the problem with you Hispanics, man. I tell you, Hispanics, bro. My brothers, I love y'all, but you guys don't like to study. You want action. You want news. Listen, this is powerful right here. Now let's go to the point. So these people knew who we were. And just like before, they wanted to reserve it for the end, right? Just like before. Well, guess what? Here it is. Some of y'all read this, some of you don't. This is from the Book of Jubilees. Okay? And we're going to read, this is from safaria.org. It was the easiest one that I could find. I don't like all the translation here, but I'll read it just for the sake of it. And I want you to show this. I want to read this to y'all. In Jubilees, which I read it confirms a lot that the Bible says. Confirms a lot. I would suggest, if you haven't read the Bible, if you don't know all the commandments, you stay away from the book until you're ready, until you know how to keep the laws. Because it's talking about the divisions of land, right? The dividing the land among brothers and sisters. That's what it's actually doing here. It's actually showing us that Shem, Noah, Japheth. So I'm going to read you this because I want you to understand that this is actually part of Second Ezra too. Let's see. Let's read in verse 25. So Jubilees chapter 10, verse 25, it reads, and in 3 and 13 Jubilees, in the first year, in the second week, Peleg took to himself a wife whose name was Loma, the daughter of Sinar. And she bare him a son in the 4th year of the week, and he called his name Reu. For he said, behold, the children of men have become evil through the land, evil through the wicked purpose of building for themselves a city and a tower in the land of Shinar. For they departed from the land of our east to Shinar, for in his days they built the city and tower. Go to, let us ascend thereby into heaven. So you see, people are starting to get whacked out here, right? It says the same thing in Second Ezra, chapter 3. Watch what it says. Nevertheless, verse 11. Nevertheless, one of them thou left it, namely Noah with his household, in whom came all righteous men. And it happened that when they dwelt upon that dwelt upon the earth began to multiply, and had gotten them many children, there were a great people. They began again to be more ungodly than the first. Now, when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them whose name is Abraham. So we see now. So yeah, it's confirming. Like, yeah, they went buck nutty here. They just started worshiping other gods. Okay, just being rebellious, because the Bible says that if you're rebellious, it's just like witchcraft. So now here we go. This is talking about the spirit of people at that time, after Shem, Japheth, and Ham. Now it says here in verse 40, and Ham and his sons went into the land which he was to occupy, which he acquainted as his portion in the land of the south. And Canaan saw that the land of Lebanon to the river of Egypt, that it was very good. Wait, hold up a second. What are you doing, Canaan? Here's why. And he went not into the land of his inheritance to the west, that is, to the sea. Why? Because if you go up, where it goes right here. Let's see that. Let's see what you got. Or did I pass it? Because technically, here, let's continue. It says, and he dwelt in the land of Lebanon, eastward and westward from the borders of Jordan and for the borders of the area. And Ham, his father, and Cush, and Mizraim, his brother, said unto him, thou hast settled in a land which is not thine, and which did not fall to us by lot. Do not do so, for if thou do so, thou and thy sons will fall in the land and be cursed through sedition. So now, what's going on here? Because the land of the south was given to his sons. Cush in the west, like by Egypt. Mizraim west of him. His brother west of him. Canaan west of him, meaning that Canaan was supposed to be on the west side of Africa. Yeah. That's what he should have been. But he didn't do so, did he? If thou do so, thou and thy sons will fall in the land and be cursed through sedition. For by sedition ye have settled, and by sedition will thy children fall, and thou shalt be rooted out forever. Now, I'm going to tell you something. What does the word sedition mean? Do you guys want to know something? Sedition means this. Watch this. This is what sedition means, man. Sedition means is overt conduct, such as speech and organizing that tends towards rebelling against established order. Sedition often includes subversion of constitution and incitement of discontent towards or insurrection against established authority. Sedition may include any commotion, though not aimed directly at one violence against an open violence. Okay, not aimed at direct and open violence against the laws. Seditious words and writing, So as you can see, look at this. It says here, in Roman Republic, a collective disobedience to a magistrate, including both military mutiny and civilian mob action. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because you guys know this, man. Who did this? Chicago mob street takeover. When did this happen?
During it, 2 teens were shot and rushed to the hospital, both said to be in fair condition. This right here is what it looked like on the streets of Chicago Saturday night.
We had people jumping on cars. This is insane.
Large numbers of young people crowding the area of the loop from Michigan Avenue to Clark Street and could be seen jumping on parked cars and smashing windows.
The scriptures don't lie, family. The scriptures don't ever lie. Ever. It says here, for by sedition ye have settled, and by sedition will thy children fall, and thou shalt be rooted out forever. That's just one. What about this?
California, this one ends in more violence.
A group of people gathering last night in Compton and is caught on camera mobbing a nearby gas station mini mart. KTLA's Gene Kang is live in Compton with the wild video. Gene.
LA County sheriffs say that they responded to illegal street takeovers here.
Who starts these?
In the early 1960s, the Tender bathhouse, which
I mean, it's right here, fam. Sedition. Look at this.
Tourists and visitors to their cars in the Millennium Park parking garage.
National
The crowd was
Guard
trying to get
windows,
into Millennium Park, but there are checkpoints that are not allowing anyone under the age.
The Bible doesn't lie. The Bible is literally telling us right here that because you are out of order, Canaan, and because you tend to be in the places you don't belong, Canaan, and because you tend to want to take things that are not yours, Canaan, because you took by sedition, then by sedition, so you die. And I'm sorry, sedition is exactly this.
21 who's not with an adult to get in, so they're massing across the street on the other side of Michigan Avenue. I spoke to a woman whose car was smashed by people jumping on the windshield. She says the crowd began beating her husband as he sat in the driver's seat. He's now been sent to Northwestern Memorial Hospital. I also talked to...
Is that needed? Seriously? Is that needed? Again, here we see his father and his brothers told him, yo, listen, man, you settled in the land that is not yours. What are you doing? He didn't care. I always wonder, family, before I read this book or even anything, I wondered, why did God tell us to go to Canaan and get them out of there? He already knew, like, he had everything organized. Why move them? Only them. Here's why. Because they weren't supposed to be there. And you see, the prophecy of Ham, because he wasn't disciplined, so he was cursed, because the prophecy through his son, who would be the undisciplined one, just like that spirit, would be cursed. And see, that's what y'all don't know. And that's why the Most High said, do not mix with these people, because they're undisciplined. Because guess what? They don't believe in the laws of God. And if they do, they'll just toss them behind their shoulders. Listen, fam, I'm going to show you something. Because a lot of these people, they really want to make you believe that, you know, oh, yeah, we knew of these lands and all this and that. And you guys don't know. This is from the Map Mundi of 1450. It's an interesting map. It's actually upside down, meaning that Africa's up here, right? And the northern part is over here, Europe. In 1450, family, look at this real quick. In 1450, look at all of Africa. All of Africa was explored, fam. So, first of all, you Negro converts who claim that Arsarith is in Africa because it was never found. Here we see a map in 1450 that there's literally tons of kingdoms in Africa. Ethiopia. See that? There's literally tons of kingdoms and rivers and paths and all that stuff. In 1450, they were not that uncivilized. Look at the kingdoms there compared to here. When these people came from here, they came from here. You black people came from here. And then you conquered here. Right? And then, on top of that, you're given all this land. Cush, Mizraim, Cush, Put, and Canaan. It was supposed to be you here, you here, you here, and in Canaan, you here, right there. In Mauritania, that's where you needed to be, Canaan. But no, on the contraire, mon frère, the famous word of our Nate the Snake, the teacher of lies. Instead, you came here. And you know what's so funny, fam? That all the people around here look more like us. But yet, there's a lot of people here that look like the people in this continent right now that claim to be us. But material books don't lie. So, Wabos, please shut your front door. Look, live with it, guys. You are Canaanites. Just live with it. It's okay. You had your chance. You had your run. You did rule Europe. Good for you. You were in Tarshish. You were digging for tin, gold, and silver. Yes, that's why the scriptures in Isaiah 23 says, run to Phoenicia, run to Spain, because you did that. And here's the reason why. I know for a fact. One important history that we don't want to forget. You see, a lot of times whoever, if you're new to this channel and you think, what's this guy talking about? Black people enslaving us. What's this guy talking about? The Canaanites. Yeah. Because even our own brothers and sisters, the Mayas, they dealt with these guys. Watch what they say. The Maya Conquistadors, page 163. It says, it should not be the black close padres. They really take money. They really ask for a great deal of money. They drive us mad over money. Therefore, these words that we say to you, they're not lies, for this is really the truth. We will now prove it. For there were many black padres, 21, that came with the Spaniards, and not one of them knew our language here. Only one of them did, but that padre who entered did not teach. For at that time, there were no elders, really just boys. They traded in the other Kahabs. Moreover, they wished to say little. The black padres, those black ones, they hated us. So a lot is being shown here, family. A 1450 map. Are you telling me that Arsarith is in Africa? It clearly shows that it's been explored. Now, IOIC, One West, all of y'all, how come Canaan is in this area? And why is everyone else of Ham over here? And then why do you make a map of 18 nations and you say that we look like the other nations who are the Gentiles and you look like the Africans, but then you say we mixed? Make it make sense. So my question to you guys is, what do we do? Where do we go from here? What does all this mean? Why do they want our land? Why do they go this far to go lie, cheat, steal? Why? Because your heritage is everything, family. Your heritage is what people are dying for. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. I'll show you. We're almost done. We're almost done. Wisdom of Solomon. Chapter 2, verse 23. For God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. You see, us true Israelites understand that. Because that's an honor to even come close to being somewhat close to that. So me personally, I don't care about the image. I care about the fact that I'm going to be forgiven, Lord willing, from my F-ups. That the Most High may forgive me for hurting people, robbing, cheating, stealing, all of it, breaking commandments against myself, fighting against my own spirit, listening to the flesh. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world. And they that do hold of his side do find it. How do you find it? Through image. Why? Because God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image. So these men here, they fight for an image because it's vanity. They don't understand the meaning behind immortality. Check this out. Isaiah 44. Watch what it reads. It says, they that make graven image are all of them vanity. Their delectables, their delectable things shall not profit. And they are their own witness. See? And they are their own witness because IUIC, ISUPK, GMS, CART, all of y'all that are pushing that damn black image. This is what your folly is. And they are their own witnesses. You have showed us who you are. They see not nor know that they may be ashamed. 41:29, Isaiah. Behold, they are all vanity. Their works are nothing. Their molten images are wind and they are confusion. Why? Why are they confusion, fam? Because they go around and tell you that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Right? Well, I don't think you fear him, Canaan, because this is the very first one. Exodus 20:3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image of, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above. Don't measure yourself up to that level of the Most High. Give me a second, fam. At all. Watch this real quick. I'm mindful of this scripture. I read it the other day. Let me see if I can find it again. I think it's in Isaiah. Let me see. Oh, let's see. Where are you at? Behold, servants from Judah, they're with us. Behold, the servants here. There's a scripture that he talks about that I can't remember how it goes, but anyways, the point being is, fam, it's very clear what he's saying right here. I mean, it doesn't even get complicated. It's literally saying, thou shalt not make any graven image unto thee, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Nothing. Nada. Not a damn thing. So at the end of the day, look, if you're of the Bible, you're either going to hearken or you're not. You're either going to continue in your image. Because look, for example, they tell the Christians, the image of the white Jesus, the image. But whenever your children pray, right? You brothers and sisters that are in these camps that are our people, when your children are praying, they're thinking of that black image. So forget about the white one. Just think of the black one. They're not erasing the image of that person. They have it in their mind. Ask your children, and they will tell you. So I'm gonna finish it with these scriptures, and I'll be it. Okay, watch this real quick, fam. Remember, keep in mind, the actions of other people will tell you who they are. You got to be very mindful. Wisdom of Solomon. But thou, O God, art gracious and true, long-suffering and in mercy, ordering all things. For if we sin, we are dying, knowing thy power, but we will not sin, knowing that we are counted thine. For to know thee is perfect righteousness. Yea, to know thy power is the root of immortality. There it goes again. They envy immortality, family. That's what it is. The heritage. They want to be sons of God so bad. To be quite frank with you, I don't know if I'll make it. I hope so. And if I do, I'm just thankful that he forgave me for my shit. For neither did the mischievous inventions of men deceive us, nor an image spotted with diverse colors. Purple and gold. The painter's fruitless labor. Pictures. The side whereof entice fools to lust after it. And they desire the form of a dead image that had no breath. Listen, the reason I'm saying this is because in those rooms, hey, Shalom, Salome, in those rooms, if you walk in those rooms, in the walls, they have pictures of all their so-called elders. Yeah, on the wall. Nate, Asap, Aitan, Yawasap, all of them on the walls. You walk in and they're like, oh damn. You don't see pictures of anybody but them. Big pictures at that point. It says here, for neither did the mischievousness of inventions of men deceive us, nor an image spotted with diverse colors, the painter's fruitless labor, the sight whereof entice fools to lust after it. Oh my God, it's black Jesus. And they desire the form of a dead image that has no breath. Why? See, this right here is when you know who the enemy is. Because if you really think about it, fam, the white man and the black man both have to have the image of someone that looks like them in order to believe. Why? Both they that make them, they that desire them, they that worship them are lovers of evil things, meaning lovers of themselves, and are worthy to have such things to trust upon. Let's read to verse. Let's finish it, man. Let's go through it. Finish it. Let's finish it. Both they that make them, they that desire them, they that worship them are lovers of evil things. Vanity. Image is vanity, family, and are worthy to have such things to trust upon because they want to see themselves. You need to see a black God to believe, to repent? Really? When I was in my isms, I just didn't want to be in my isms anymore. I didn't care. I just wanted God, the Creator, to help me. I was tired of sinning. At that time, I knew it was sinning. I just didn't know how to stop. For the potter, tempering soft earth, fashion every vessel with much labor for our service. You see, like these guys, they dress up in purple and gold. And by the way, those arm bracers, IUIC, you got to thank me because I gave you those designs. You guys stole those designs from me. And you know damn well it's true. San Diego should confirm that. But anyhow, it don't matter. Go ahead and adorn yourselves. Okay? Oh, yeah, of the same clay he maketh both the vessel that serve for clean uses, and likewise also all such are served to the contrary. But what is the use of either sort? The potter himself is the judge. And employing his labor lewdly, he maketh the vain God of the same clay, meaning like you. You see, you make your God look like you. Ain't man made out of clay? Even he, which is little before, was made of the earth himself. You see that? So I'm made out of clay, so I'm going to make something out of clay that looks like me because I want that to be God. And within a little while after, returning to the same, out when his life which was lent him shall be demanded. Meaning when you die, the Most High is going to need off of you. Notwithstanding, his care is Not that he shall have much labor, nor that his life is short, but striveth to excel goldsmith and silversmith, and endeavor to do like the workers of brass, and counted it his glory to make counterfeiting things. Like, oh yeah, you see, we got the true thought, look at the images, look at the 12 tribes. Okay, cool. Sure. Counterfeiting. His heart is ashes. His hope is more vile than the earth, and his life is of less value than clay. For as much as he knew not his maker, because if you do, you'll understand the meaning and value of immortality. And him that inspired him, and him that inspired into him an active soul, and breathed it into a living spirit. But they counted our life as pastime, our time here a market for gain. For say they, we must be getting every way, though it be by evil means. Don't we see in them? Don't we say like, hey, shalom, aren't they like all boasting about their rooms, IOIC, growing all that money? And all the enemies of that people that hold them in subjugation are most foolish and are most miserable than very babes. For they counted all the idols of the heathen to be gods. I'm going to show you right now. Which neither have the use of the eyes to see, nor nose to draw breath, nor ears to hear, nor fingers to hands to handle. And as for feet, they are slow to go. For man made them. And he that borrowed his own spirit fashioned them. But no man can make a God like unto himself. Come on, man. For being mortal, he worketh a dead thing which wicked hands, because you are mortal. The spirit of you is mortal, because you need to see a man that looks like you to believe. For he himself is better than the things which he worshiped, whereas he lived once, but they never. Yea, they worship those beasts also that are most hateful, for being compared together, some are worse than others. Finish it with 19. Neither are they beautiful, as much as to be desired in respect of beasts, but they went without the praise of God and his blessing. Why am I showing that this? Why am I talking about all that right here? I'm going to show you why right now. I'm going to show you why right now. Watch this. I was keeping an eye on, like, man, like, you know what? I've noticed something. First, it was this, fam.
5 and 6. The book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord.
So Motai said he was going to send Elijah the prophet, which was a very powerful prophet if you know anything about these scriptures, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord, which is when Christ returns. Read.
And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers.
So whoever this great prophet is going to turn us back to our fathers, which is the Bible, and the fathers back unto us or teach us. So right. I think, and we all know, about regeneration, that this could definitely be speaking about the bishop. That is the smartest man on earth, probably the most hated and the most loved.
Damn. So they're saying he's Elijah. That's what they're saying. Okay. What does the scripture say here? For being mortal. No, sorry. For man made them, and he that borrowed his own spirit fashioned them. But no man can make a God like unto himself. Watch this.
Well done. I look to the hills where my help from. I just want to hear, welcome, well done. I just want to hear.
Look at that family. For they counted all the idols of the heathens to be gods. Watch this. The sight whereof enticeth fools to lust after it. So they desire the form of a dead image. For neither did the mischievous inventions of men deceive us, nor an image spotted with diverse colors and paintings fruitless labor. It says, be no respecter of persons. But they don't realize that, do they? And then, I guess, the one that literally, I don't know what. Let's see. Where is it at? There it goes right here. Check it.
Mount Shai is a jealous power. A jealous power, bro. The Lord said, I am jealous over you with godly jealousy.
Throwing up the mono. I was about.
Let's be real, family. Come on, man. He's on a horse now? From false messiah complex. His idolatrous followers. No. It just shows the envy. Again, Canaan was not supposed to be in our land. Today, they're not supposed to be in our land. Then that land don't belong to them, but they wanted it. Here, this land don't belong to them, but they want it. Then the Jew Negro shows that they knew this land. They wanted to save it for the end, but they knew who was here. Now we're being told what? How much more do we need? How much more do we need to see? He's Elijah? He's either Messiah? He walks into buildings now, everybody adores him, crying. For God's sakes, family. Seriously? That's why what happened this other day is biblical. And I'm glad that it did. Because I had said 2 days ago in my actual class, I said, man, I have a feeling something's gonna happen to that person. And it happened to his congregation. Sirach 39:28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Some are fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. Yeah. Why? Because of envy. So we see envy, family. So now the other people that are not the people of the book are exposing themselves of who they truly are. And it's time that you guys start agarrándose los pantalones, get a hold of this book because it belongs to you guys and no one else. Sirach 35:10 reads like this. It says, blessed thou that has said, these two nations and because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live it, saith the Lord, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, vanity, imagery, which thou hast used out of thine hatred against them. I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountain of Israel, saying they are laid desolate. They are given us to consume. See that? Given us to consume. Are we not getting that? Now you're not even a Hispanic. Now you're not even a Mexican. Now you're not even an Aztec. Now they're saying that you are somewhere else. All over again, we see the Bible. But here's the beauty, family. Stay in your prayers. Keep the commandments and live. Wisdom of Solomon 1:5 says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labor. Don't they tell us even now? You got negritos telling us to go back to our country where we belong. Hey, Mexican, that's right. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you this right now. One thing, I'm glad you bring it up. I haven't read it all, but I did kids prepare. The one thing I want to make sure is in this channel, we don't go, oh, poor me. No. Get your ass up and get a job and go to work. That means actual work and keep the commandments of God. In this channel, all the people, we don't complain and not do shit about it. We may complain, but we get up and do the work. We are to blame for not taking care of business, getting rid of them in Jerusalem. And even some tribes aligned with Esau and Canaan during the conquest. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And you know why? Because even now, in Michigan, you know this, bro. Our raza, a lot of our raza, bro, they're scared. Oh, no quiero decirle nada. Pues usted ya sabe, señor. Unfortunately, even today, with all them sellout Latinos in their ranks, but at the end the end has been prophesied against all that stand the kingdom. That's right, man. That's maybe because that's technically what's going on right now. Fam, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to say it again. I'll never stop saying it until you wrap this around your mind. The one thing you need to focus on is repenting for what you've done wrong. Don't boast. Don't be proudful. Love your brethren. Honor your parents. Love your wife. Raise your children. Teach them the laws. And have respect for yourself. And be a man. Admit when you're wrong. Don't go strifing with everybody. If you cannot get along with anyone that's in the Bible trying to talk to you, bro, then you're the problem. That's a hint for somebody with a certain channel that doesn't have any friends. Apparently, he is, bro, grow up. Because you're not really hindering. You're hindering yourself. You could have done great works, but you didn't humble yourself. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond all that they look for. And the reason why I'm saying this, bro, because I hope you can get the hint, because you got people listening to you. You need to humble yourself. That's why you're in error. And now you want to be a Spaniard. So again, family, I'm going to say this once more. Wisdom of Solomon 18:7. Man, you got to stand behind this. So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of righteousness, meaning I'm here to push this truth for you, brothers and sisters, man. I hope to the Lord that we all make it. I know we can. I know we won't. But I want my gente to stop suffering. Like this brother right here. I'm going to show you this because this video really pains me. All praise to the Most High that we're fixing our paperwork for my wife. But you know, she could have been in this situation. It could have been an a-hole. He could have been like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna take you to jail. Deja ver tus papeles. Déjame ver tus papeles, he says. Where's that video at? Watch this. This is the truth of who we are.
Man, gotta talk about this. This is messed up what's happening in Florida. I'm gonna put a video for you people to see the injustice ICE is doing to the immigrants. They just don't give a crap about these people. They think they're animals, man. These are human beings you're treating there. Wow. Wait till you see this. It's gonna piss a lot of people off. It's pissed me off. Check it out.
Dígame, ¿qué dice?
Te estoy preguntando qué quieres hacer.
Es que-
ahorita y te llevo conmigo y te vas conmigo. Voy a quebrar la ventana.
Oficial, no dice nada malo.
¿Estás aquí ilegalmente?
Pero no dice nada malo.
¿Estás aquí ilegalmente?
Oficial, no dice nada malo.
Tápate la cara. Porque te vas a ir conmigo, no te vas a ir con ellos. Es preferible que te vayas con ellos. ¿Cómo le quieres hacer?
He's crying, family. He's crying. For some of you idiots that are probably laughing right now, that are either that look like us but are not us, or you're another nation, let me remind you of something. This man could have gotten up early in the morning, taken a shower, said goodbye to his wife, has a baby girl, baby boy, who's going to say, hey, papi, te voy a ver después. Okay, papa, we're going to go get some ice cream. Yeah, I'll see you in a little bit. Okay. He won't be home. He will not be home. So before you go and laugh and assume, remind yourself, when you woke up this morning and you saw your child, imagine not having to be able to come back. And who knows when you'll see her again or him. Your boy. Let's go.
No. Oficial, ¿qué hice?
Oh. I'm going to tell you, so-called Hispanics and natives of our continent. And I'm really getting mad at you natives, brothers, right here, man, because a lot of you guys are really pushing against this truth. And I'm starting to wonder if you guys are the $5 Indians that they talk about. Straight up. I'm calling everybody out right now. And you so-called raza, you call yourself a raza, you say you're so-called Chicano and all that, now you're calling yourself a Sephardic Spaniard. What the fuck is wrong with you? This right here, family, wake your asses up, man. Because as you sit on your couch, enjoying your latte, we got raza getting destroyed because we ain't keeping the laws collectively. We all went to slavery together. Collectively, we save ourselves together. Let's go.
No se pasen de verga, culeros. Quítamelo a mí. ¿Por qué me lo vas a quitar? ¿Tienes documentos tú? Yo sí tengo documentos, pendejo. Ey, calmado con el asunto. Fíjense cómo tratan a la gente también, idiotas.
Stay down. Sit down right there.
Yo puedo grabar lo que quiera.
Ok, pero estoy diciendo que te sientas.
¿Qué les hizo para que lo traten así?
Traes en tu persona. Siéntate, por favor.
¿Qué voy a traer? Tengo mi mamá aquí afuera.
Ahí, por favor.
So this, I'm gonna read this real quick, fam. So for you, Canaan and Esau, I'm gonna show you this real quick because I believe this has to be said. Watch these words of this lunatic, orangutan, damn heathen Edomite. Okay, I want you to pay attention to what he says at the end, and I'm gonna read to you why you shouldn't overlook statements like that. Okay, watch this real quick. Only estas, on this does. Give me a second. Here's why. Hold on a second, fam. Hey, shalom, Julio. Here's why. Listen to what he says.
Together you are the tip of the spear, the edge of the blade, and the front of the shield.
I'll give you a quick parable. Just out of thought. The tip of the spear. What was the last thing they stabbed Messi, the Meshika, the Messiah, with a spear? Who came with a spear and stabbed the heart of this continent? They did. And do you guys know that Meshiaka actually means Messiah? Let's go.
Defending and protecting our great country. You know, there is no mission our pilots can't handle. There is no hill our Marines can't take. And there is no stronghold the SEALs can't breach. There is no sea the Navy can't brave, and there is no storm the American sailor can't conquer, because you know that together there is nothing Americans can't do. Absolutely nothing.
Here it goes. Next time you hear these words, memorize this too.
In recent years and even decades, too many people have forgotten that truth. They've forgotten that our ancestors trounced an empire, tamed a continent, and triumphed over the worst evils. Trounced an empire, tamed a continent, and triumphed over the worst evils in history.
The worst evils? You damn animal. The worst evils, right? So you calling us the worst evils. Okay. Let's see what the worst evils are, fam. Next time you hear comments like that, statements, remind them of this. Okay? I've showed y'all this book already. And it reads, during the 4th century spanning between 1492, when Christopher Columbus, that damn heathen, first set foot on the New World of a Caribbean beach, in 1892, 400 years, when U.S. Census Bureau concluded that there were fewer than 250,000 indigenous people surviving within the country's claimed boundaries, a hemispheric population estimated have been as great as 125 million, was reduced by something over 90%. The people had died in their millions of being. Hold on a second. Before I read this, I want to make sure that you remember what this heathen said. Okay? This is what this heathen said.
Years and even decades, they've forgotten that our ancestors trounced an empire, tamed a continent, and triumphed. An empire, tamed a continent.
Trounced an empire, tamed a continent.
Tamed a continent, and triumphed over the worst evils.
Over the worst evils. This is Donald punk ass mofo Trump. Okay? And all you Negroes that are going to vote for him, I hope you get in line. Jeremiah 17:5 says, "Cursed be the man that trusted in man." You trusted in his words. The people had died in their millions of being hacked apart with axes and swords, burned alive, trampled under horses, hunted as game, and fed to dogs, shot, beaten, stabbed, scalped for bounty, hung on meat hooks. Yeah, like, Texas chainsaw shit. And thrown over the sides of ships at sea. Wait, hold up a second. I thought only black people went through that. No, they didn't actually go through that. They lied to you. Worked to death as slave laborers. Aren't they kicking people out of Florida? Death as slave laborers. Don't our people make like $4 an hour here in these lands? Farming? Intentionally starved. Didn't they arrest our children and several have died of starvation because they were taken from their parents? Frozen to death during a multitude of forced marches and internments. Don't they have internment camps even now? Didn't they have them over there in Arizona? Which that stupid ass cop, George Powell, whatever his name is. And an unknown number of instances. Lastly, deliberately, Donald Trump, infected with epidemic diseases. How convenient. Now let's listen to this again.
And triumphed. Tamed a continent. Tamed a continent. Tamed a continent. Tamed a continent. And triumphed over the worst evils in history.
So you're telling me that you triumphed over the worst evils in history by hacking, cutting, beating, raping, backbreaking, mutilating, infected with disease, forced to starve, frozen to death? Who is the great evil? I don't think that great evil belongs to us. On the contrary. That's why, family, it says here in Wisdom of Solomon 18:7, "For of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and the destruction of the enemy," man. Right. That's all I got for y'all, man. That's all I got for you guys, man. So, Lord willing, I can continue with this walk. Hey, shalom, Salome, Julio. Appreciate you, Mexican. If everybody wants to say something, man, add to it, just let me know. Shalom, travel. Hey, that's funny, dude. You know my legal name. And by the way, that's actually my last name. Maybe we were related. Yeah. So anyhow, I hope it was edifying, fam. I do want to share this link with y'all. Matter of fact, what I'll do, I'll post it on my end over here. Through the Telegram. I'll hook you guys up with that map because that map is man, it's something else, bro. It's literally telling us that these look, man, they're being exposed, family. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Just endure. Stay in the fight. Continue to examine yourself. If you're in the faith, keep the commandments of God as best as you can and continue to learn, man, and make time for your family. All right? So other than that, you guys don't really have shalom. Yeah, okay, cool, man. There's not much left. Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and leave you guys with this. I got a song for you, man. This goes out to them heathens. Okay. It's one of my favorite. And if you understand it, all praises. If you don't, well, then you don't. You know what I mean? But anyhow, take care, family. All right. Let me go ahead and get into this commercial feeding here real quick. Yep. All right. Sounds good.
porque toques el cielo, pero no el suelo, así que créetelo. Quítate el velo velozmente, bro. Vívete tu sueño, pero despierta a la hora que toca. Esa hora, motherfucker, wake up.
Yo me meo en tu cubata antes. Bebo matar ratas con tan. Voy al bosque a lo Tarzán mientras enlazan. Fraternidad en casa con su polo Hollister a estrenar. Se han dejado en el desván de su pensar un mar de ideas. Con grandes ideas ardiendo en chimeneas antiguas. Ríe Dios al ver que te santiguas. Su mente y su luz son ambiguas como mi voz. Lo que pa' que es un don pa' mí, una misión fija. Mis versos son de ninja, tu poesía pa' fijas que no te fijan, que hay más allá del cristal. La matriz hipnotiza, mi energía usa de trizas. Yo en mi nave nutriza, comiendo pizza con piña, moldea toroides, córtices. Con mi mente arborescente, junto con Isis y mi luz para crear Pegasus en ese perro. Cánticos lemurianos me hacen sentir como en mi hogar la noche se avecina y se afilan colmillos de vampiras psíquicas. Frecuencias del malestar las alimentan. Nuestro deber es tenerlas raquíticas. Bazookas espaciales latada con la función del sol central, causando desinformaciones bíblicas. Todo lo existente es relativo, o al menos la materia que te describo. Soy antipersonas como las minas y mino. La moral del que venga a negar lo que digo con la mira pues tan ombligo. Si me retiro del partido que sea como Figo. Conocidos en me la pela en verdad. En mi barrio me conocen más que tú a tu enamorada. No hay payasos, solo en anémonas. Cigarcolada Andrómeda eres. Conserva tus células primigenias o no podrás volar. El virus se llevó a unos cuantos, pero el ego a más. Se elevó el más a la opulencia. Digo, ciencia, debajo el Satanás en el espejo. Jesucristo, la conciencia del flow. La tierra y su paz están vibrando. Los sentimientos son la trampa que están manejando. Los hilos de los cuales tú y tu ego estáis medio colgándonos. Que yo sea un superdotado, ni tú, solo lo que tú sabes de mierda yo sobre el cosmos. Que lo estudio y profundamente sano me lo tomo. Si no ya hubiera ido a visitar al doctor, porque no soy devoto, mucho menos un santo. Yo jamás pudo, pero dale que asalto cuando en verdad sé que tendría que sudarme todo la polla. Pero pienso que hay que vivir por algo.